Glass shattered downstairs, followed by a muffled curse that made my blood run cold. I knew that voice. The same voice that had criticized my wedding dress, my choice of career, and most recently, my parenting skills. I gripped the baseball bat from behind our bedroom door, my bare feet silent on the hardwood floor. Charlie slept peacefully in his room, unaware that his grandmother had just broken into our house at 3 in the morning. The kitchen lights blazed as I crept down the stairs. Dolly Monroe stood amid a sea of scattered luggage, holding a broken flower vase like it personally offended her. Her silver-streaked hair was perfectly coiffed despite the ungodly hour. Really, Penelope? These hideous flowers by the door? I told Mark you have no sense of style. She dropped the broken pieces into the trash without a hint of remorse. Where's my son? What are you doing in my house, Dolly? Don't be dramatic. I'm moving in. She wheeled another suitcase through the doorway. Marcus knows all about it. My fingers tightened around the bat. Mark knows nothing about this. Oh, but he does. She pulled out her phone, showing me a text conversation. He agreed weeks ago. Didn't he tell you? My husband's messages glowed on the screen. Of course you can stay, Mom. As long as you need. Dated 3 weeks ago. The bat lowered to my side as reality sank in. My own husband had betrayed me, invited his mother into our sanctuary without a single word to me. Now, be a dear and help me with these bags. Dolly gestured to the pile of expensive luggage cluttering my entryway. The guest room needs a thorough cleaning, by the way. I noticed cobwebs last time I visited. There is no guest room anymore. It's Charlie's playroom. Her face hardened. Well, that won't do at all. We'll move his things tomorrow. Children don't need that much space anyway. You're not touching my son's room. Don't be difficult, Penelope. I raised Marcus just fine without all these modern parenting notions. She began dragging a suitcase toward the stairs. Speaking of which, I've noticed Charlie seems quite attached to you. Not healthy at his age. My chest tightened. He's 2. Precisely. Marcus was much more independent at that age. But we'll work on that. Footsteps creaked overhead, Mark, finally awakening to the chaos below. I watched him descend, his face shifting from confusion to recognition to guilt. Mom? What are you doing here now? I thought you weren't coming until next month. Plans changed, darling. She kissed his cheek, shooting me a triumphant look. The house sold faster than expected. But you said any time was fine, remember? Mark's eyes met mine, pleading for understanding. Penny, I meant to tell you. When? The word came out sharp enough to make him flinch. When exactly were you planning to tell me your mother was moving in? Don't be angry with him, Dolly interjected. He's such a good son, taking care of his mother in her time of need. A cry echoed from upstairs, Charlie, awakened by the commotion. Before I could move, Dolly was already heading toward the stairs. I'll get him. Poor dear needs his grandmother's touch. Don't you dare. My voice was barely a whisper, but it stopped her mid-step. Touch my son, and I swear. Penny! Mark's shock at my tone only fueled my rage. No. I moved between Dolly and the stairs. This is my house. My son. You don't get to waltz in here and take over. Dolly's smile never wavered. Oh, sweetheart. I already have. Charlie's cries grew louder, and I faced a choice: deal with my mother-in-law or comfort my son. As I turned to climb the stairs, I caught her satisfied smirk. This was just the beginning. She thought she'd won, but she had no idea what I was capable of. Not yet. 3 days into Dolly's invasion, I found her rearranging my kitchen cabinets. My grandmother's china set, the only thing I had left of her, sat in a cardboard box marked donate. These old dishes were taking up so much space, she said, not bothering to look at me. And really, Penelope, organizing by color instead of function? No wonder Marcus always complained about never finding anything. I clutched the box to my chest. Mark never complained about the kitchen. Oh, he wouldn't, to you. She slid another stack of plates into a new spot. He's too kind. But a mother knows when her son is unhappy. The sound of Charlie's laughter drifted in from the living room, where Mark was supposedly watching him. Instead, I found my 2-year-old covered in chocolate, drawing on the walls with sticky fingers while Mark dozed on the couch. I gave him a little treat, Dolly called from the kitchen. Poor thing never gets sweets. All that organic nonsense you insist on. I grabbed the wet wipes, kneeling beside Charlie. Hey, baby. Let's get you cleaned up. No. He squirmed away, leaving chocolate handprints on my shirt. Gamma said play. The word stabbed through me. 3 days, and she'd already trained him to call her that. Mark. I nudged his foot. Wake up. Your son is destroying our walls. He stirred, blinking at the mess. Oh, shit, shoot. Sorry, I dozed off. While your mother fed him sugar and let him vandalize the house. Come on, Penny. It's not vandalism. He's just being a kid. A kid who's going to be impossible to put down for his nap now. Dolly appeared in the doorway. Naps are another modern obsession. Marcus never needed them past age 2. Well, Charlie does. I lifted my squirming son. And he needs structure, not sugar and chaos. Structure? She laughed. Is that what you call your rigid little schedules? Children need freedom to explore. Mom, Mark started, but she waved him off. I'm only trying to help. Heaven knows you both need it, working such long hours. Which reminds me, I've been thinking about the guest room situation. There is no situation, I said. You're not taking Charlie's playroom. Actually, Mark cleared his throat. Maybe we should consider it. Just temporarily. Mom needs her own space, and Charlie has plenty of room in his bedroom for toys. The betrayal burned worse than the first night. You're taking her side? I'm not taking sides. I'm trying to be practical. Practical would have been discussing this with your wife before inviting your mother to live with us. Dolly touched Mark's arm. Don't let her make you feel guilty, darling. You're being a good son. A good son? I laughed. What about being a good husband? A good father? Penny. No. I'm done. I headed for the stairs with Charlie. Clean up this mess. Both of you. You see how she speaks to you? Dolly's voice carried up the stairs. So disrespectful. Your father would never have tolerated. Don't. Mark's sharp tone surprised me. Don't bring Dad into this. I paused on the landing, holding Charlie closer. I'm only saying what he would have said, Dolly continued, her voice softening. He always worried about you, you know. Worried you'd let someone control you. The silence that followed felt heavy with unspoken words. Then Mark sighed, that same defeated sound I'd heard too often lately. I'll clean up the walls, he said. And maybe we can look at reorganizing the upstairs this weekend. I carried Charlie to his room, my mind racing. Dolly wasn't just trying to take over my house, she was rewriting history, manipulating Mark's memories of his own father. But she'd made a mistake, revealing that particular weapon. Because I remembered Mark's father differently. Remembered the letters he'd written Mark before he died, warning him about Dolly's manipulations. Letters that Mark had never seen, because his mother had intercepted them. Letters I'd found in our attic last year, hidden in an old box of Mark's childhood things. I kissed Charlie's chocolate-stained cheek. Time to clean up, baby. Mommy has some planning to do. The letters felt heavy in my hands as I sat in Lisa's kitchen, away from Dolly's prying eyes. My neighbor poured more wine, waiting for me to speak. She's playing sick now, I said. Clutching her chest, taking these mysterious pills. Mark's completely falling for it. Classic manipulation. Lisa leaned forward. What's in the letters? Everything. His father knew what she was doing, tried to warn Mark before he died. I spread the yellowed pages across her counter. He wrote about how she isolated them, controlled everything through guilt and fake emergencies. A text lit up my phone, Mark asking where I was. I ignored it. You have to show him, Lisa said. I tried. This morning, I mentioned his father's concerns about Dolly. He shut down completely, said I was being cruel bringing up painful memories. While she gets to weaponize those same memories? My phone buzzed again. This time it was Dolly. Marcus is worried sick. I'm not feeling well, and Charlie keeps asking for his mother. She's good, I muttered, showing Lisa the text. Really good. You need to get back, don't you? I nodded, gathering the letters. Thanks for the wine. And the sanctuary. The house was quiet when I returned, too quiet. I found Mark in the kitchen, his face grave. Where were you? He asked. At Lisa's. I needed a break. While Mom was having chest pains? My stomach clenched. What? She could barely breathe, Penny. Charlie was crying, and you weren't here. I was gone for 2 hours. The doctor's coming tomorrow. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Mom thinks the stress is making her condition worse. What condition? She's never mentioned any condition before. Because you never bothered to ask. His outburst startled us both. You've been hostile since she arrived. Maybe if you tried to understand. Understand what? How she's systematically taking over our home. Undermining every decision I make about Charlie? She's trying to help. No, she's manipulating you. Just like she always has. His face hardened. You don't know anything about my mother. I know your father tried to warn you about her. Don't. He wrote you letters, Mark. Letters she hid from you. Stop it. He turned away. I'm not having this conversation. From upstairs, Dolly's voice carried down, Marcus? I'm feeling quite faint. He rushed past me without another word. I followed, reaching the top of the stairs in time to see Dolly swooning dramatically on the landing, one hand pressed to her heart. Maybe we should go to the hospital, Mark suggested, supporting her. No, no. She patted his arm weakly. I just need rest. And perhaps if things were calmer here. Her eyes met mine, triumphant despite her performance. I'll make you some tea, Mark said. Such a good son. She smiled. Oh, and Penelope? Charlie's toys are everywhere in that playroom. I nearly tripped. We really must do something about that space. I watched them disappear into her temporary room, the room she was systematically turning permanent. Through the partially open door, I heard her murmuring to Mark. I hate to say it, darling, but I'm worried about Penelope. These accusations, the hostility. It reminds me of your father's sister. You remember what happened to her? Mom, please. I just don't want history repeating itself. Especially with Charlie so young. I backed away, my hands shaking. She wasn't just trying to take my home or undermine my marriage. She was laying groundwork, planting seeds of doubt about my stability, my fitness as a mother. In Charlie's room, I found him sleeping peacefully, clutching the stuffed elephant I'd given him. Dolly had tried to replace it with a new toy, but he'd refused. My small victory. I touched his soft cheek, making a decision. The letters weren't enough. I needed more, concrete evidence of her manipulation, her lies. And I needed to move fast, before she convinced Mark I was the threat to our family's stability. Sweet dreams, baby, I whispered. Mommy's going to fix this. Whatever it takes. I found the papers in Dolly's purse while searching for her supposed heart medication. Instead of prescription bottles, I discovered legal documents, a deed transfer form for our house. Already filled out with Mark's signature line highlighted in yellow. My hands trembled as I photographed each page with my phone. Through the bedroom window, I could see Dolly in the garden with Charlie, teaching him to pull up my carefully planted herbs. Weeds, she'd called them yesterday. This garden needs a proper English layout. The front door opened downstairs. Mark, home early. I slipped the papers back into her purse, exactly as I'd found them. Mom? His voice carried upstairs. Penny? I met him in the kitchen, where he was frowning at a stack of mail. Why is there a letter from the bank about refinancing? He asked. What? He held up the envelope. Did you apply for a loan without telling me? I've never, the realization hit like ice water. Show me that. The application was in both our names, with forged signatures and inflated income statements. My stomach lurched when I saw the requested amount, enough to buy out my share of the house, if someone were planning to force a sale. Mark, I didn't do this. Then who did? His voice had that edge now, the one that appeared whenever he thought I was attacking his mother. Because it wasn't me, and Mom's been too sick to. Sick? I laughed, the sound harsh even to my ears. Go check her purse. See how many heart medications you find. Stop it. Just stop. He rubbed his temples. First the accusations about Dad's letters, now this? What's next? Are you going to claim she's trying to steal the house too? The irony burned. Actually. Marcus? Dolly appeared in the doorway, supporting herself on the frame. Charlie clung to her leg, dirt smeared across his cheeks. I heard raised voices. Is everything all right? Everything's fine, Mom. Just discussing some paperwork. Her eyes flickered to the loan application, then to me. A slight smile touched her lips. Gamma stay forever? Charlie asked, and something in me snapped. I grabbed my phone, pulling up the photos. Look at these, Mark. Really look. What are you? Your mother's been planning this from the start. The deed transfer, the loan application, she's trying to take our home. Dolly swayed dramatically. Oh, Marcus, she's doing it again. Just like this morning, making these wild accusations. I have proof this time. I thrust the phone at Mark. She's not sick. She's not helpless. She's... Enough. Mark's shout made Charlie jump. I can't take any more of this paranoia. Mom's right, you need help. Help? The word felt like ash in my mouth. I've been reading about postpartum psychosis, Dolly said softly. It can appear months or even years after. Don't you dare. I stepped toward her, but Mark moved between us. Penny, you're scaring Charlie. Our son was crying now, still clutching Dolly's leg. She stroked his hair with practiced concern. Perhaps I should take him upstairs, she suggested. While you two talk? No. I moved to grab Charlie, but Mark caught my arm. Let her take him, he said. You're not thinking clearly. I watched helplessly as Dolly led my son away, her limp magically more pronounced. The moment they disappeared upstairs, I wrenched free from Mark's grip. She's going to take everything, I whispered. And you're helping her do it. I'm trying to help you. He reached for me again, but I backed away. We can find someone for you to talk to, get you the support you need. Support? I grabbed my keys from the counter. I'll show you exactly what kind of support I need. Where are you going? To get my son back. I headed for the stairs. And if you try to stop me, I swear I'll. You'll what? His voice was cold now. Prove everything Mom's been saying about your stability? I froze, understanding finally hitting me. This was her masterpiece, turning my own husband against me, making my desperate attempts to protect our family look like madness. You're right, I said quietly. I need some air. Just a walk to clear my head. He relaxed slightly, believing he'd won. But as I walked out the door, I wasn't heading for a casual stroll. I was going to war. Lisa's laptop glowed in the darkness of her kitchen as we scrolled through years of Dolly's social media history. Empty wine glasses and scattered papers surrounded us, bank statements, property records, old newspaper clippings. There, Lisa pointed. 3 other houses in 5 years. All belonging to widowers or divorced men with children. And she lived in each one until the families fell apart. Lisa clicked through the photos. She's done this before, Penny. Multiple times. My phone buzzed, another message from Mark, come home. We can talk about this. And then, Mom's worried about your state of mind. He's already talking about psychiatric evaluations, I said. Dolly's convinced him I'm having some kind of breakdown. Then we need proof she's done this before. Lisa opened another tab. Look, this woman posted warnings about her years ago. Caroline Bennett. Her father almost lost everything. A sharp knock at Lisa's front door made us both jump. Through the window, I saw Mark's silhouette. Hide this, I whispered, helping Lisa clear the evidence. He can't know what we found. Mark's face was tight with concern when Lisa let him in. Charlie's been crying for you. I needed space to think. About what? Running away? Taking our son? He stepped closer. Mom found the packed bag in your closet. The bag I'd never packed. The trap I should have seen coming. Mark. She's right, isn't she? You're not well. Your mother is a predator. The words burst out before I could stop them. She's done this before, to other families. I can prove it. More conspiracy theories? He shook his head. This is exactly what she warned me about. asked Caroline Bennett. I grabbed my phone, pulling up the social media post. Or David Thompson's family. Or. Stop. He held up his hand. Just stop. Come home. We'll get you help. I'm not crazy. Then why are you acting like this? Searching through Mom's things, making wild accusations, planning to kidnap our son? I never. The bag, Penny. Packed with Charlie's clothes and your passport. Lisa stepped between us. Mark, maybe you should listen. Stay out of this. His voice hardened. You're only encouraging her paranoia. My phone chimed again. A message from an unknown number. This is Caroline Bennett. Lisa reached out. We need to talk about Dolores Monroe. Hope flared, but I kept my expression neutral. Fine, I said. You're right. I need to come home. Mark's relief was painful to watch. Thank you. Mom suggested we talk to Dr. Phillips tomorrow. Whatever you think is best. I touched his arm, feeling him relax further. I just need to use the bathroom first. In Lisa's bathroom, I quickly typed a response to Caroline, tell me everything. Recording all conversations from now on. Then I deleted the messages and turned on my phone's voice recorder. If Dolly wanted to play games with reality, I'd give her exactly what she wanted, a seemingly unstable daughter-in-law. Slowly surrendering to her manipulation. Let her think she'd won. Let her get comfortable. Let her slip up and reveal her true self, just like she had with the others. When I emerged, Mark was waiting by the door. Ready? Yes. I smiled weakly. I'm sorry for worrying you. In the car, he reached for my hand. It's going to be okay. Mom knows a great therapist. Of course she does. I squeezed his hand, picturing Caroline Bennett's message. Your mother knows exactly what I need. At home, Dolly waited in the living room, Charlie asleep in her lap. Her expression was perfect, concerned, loving, victorious. Oh, sweetheart, she said. We've been so worried. I let my shoulders slump in defeat. I know. I'm sorry. She patted the couch beside her. Sit. Tell me what's troubling you. As I sat down, my phone silently recording in my pocket, I thought about all the other families she'd destroyed. All the other lives she'd invaded and dismantled. You're right, I whispered. I need help. Her smile widened, and in that moment, I saw what Caroline Bennett must have seen, the predator beneath the mask, already savoring her victory. But this time would be different. This time, her prey was hunting back. Caroline Bennett's testimony played through my phone's speaker, her voice trembling even years later. She destroyed my family. Made my father think I was unstable, dangerous. By the time we realized what she'd done, she already had control of everything. I watched Mark's face as he listened, searching for any sign of recognition. We sat in our kitchen at midnight, Charlie safely asleep upstairs. While Dolly attended her doctor's appointment, really a meeting with her lawyer about the house deed. There are others, I said softly. David Thompson's family. The Hendersons. All the same pattern. Mark stared at his hands. This could be anyone. Some angry ex-daughter-in-law making accusations. Check the dates. The properties. It all matches. You've been investigating my mother? His voice hardened. Working with these strangers to build some case against her? To protect our family. From what? She's helped us. Taken care of Charlie, supported us. Supported us? I played another recording, Dolly on the phone with her lawyer yesterday. Once the deed transfer is complete, we can discuss options for removing her from the property. Marcus will understand eventually. He always does what's best for family. The kitchen door creaked. We both turned to find Dolly standing there, her face a perfect mask of hurt betrayal. "Oh, Marcus," she whispered. "What has she done to you?" "Done to him?" I stood, finally ready for this confrontation. "Tell him about the others, Dolly. Tell him what happened to their families." "Others?" She moved to Mark's side, touching his shoulder. "Darling, this is worse than I feared. She's created an entire conspiracy." "Stop lying." I thrust my phone forward, playing Caroline's testimony again. "Your name is on all the property records. The dates, the pattern. Anyone could fake those recordings." Dolly's voice cracked perfectly. "I knew you were troubled, but this elaborate plot to turn my son against me." "Plot?" I laughed. "Like the planted bag in my closet? The forged loan documents?" "What documents?" Mark asked. "The ones that disappeared from her purse after I photographed them." I reached for my phone again, but the screen was black. Dead battery. "No, no, no." "Sweetheart," Dolly said to Mark, "remember what Dr. Phillips said about paranoid delusions? The elaborate stories they create?" "I'm not," I stopped, seeing Mark's expression. "You've already been talking to doctors about me?" "We had to," he said. "Mom's been worried." "Of course she has." I backed away from them both. "She's been planning this from the start." "Planning what?" Dolly's voice rose. "To help you? To support this family while you spiral further into these dangerous fantasies?" "Mark, please." I grabbed his arm. "Call Caroline Bennett. Talk to the others. Just investigate." He pulled away. "I did investigate. That number you gave me? It's disconnected. The property records? Mom never owned those houses. I checked everything, Penny. There's nothing there. The room spun. That's not possible. Lisa saw." "Lisa enabled you," Dolly said gently. "Fed into your paranoia. That's why we asked her to keep her distance." "Asked her?" Ice filled my veins. "What did you do?" "We filed a restraining order," Mark said. "For your own good." She was making everything worse. I ran to the window. Lisa's house was dark, empty. "Where is she?" "Visiting family," Dolly said. "She understood it was best to give you space to heal." My last ally, gone. My evidence, erased. Even the photos on my phone, I checked again, hands shaking, deleted during the battery death. "I've arranged everything," Dolly continued. "The facility has an excellent reputation. Very discreet." "Facility?" The word barely came out. "Just for a few weeks," Mark said. "Until you're better." I looked between them, my husband's pained expression, Dolly's perfectly constructed concern, and understood. This was her masterpiece. Every move calculated, every piece positioned. While I thought I was gathering evidence, she was building her case. Every reaction she'd provoked, every paranoid accusation she'd engineered, had led to this moment. "Charlie needs his mother healthy," Dolly said, reaching for my arm. "Come with us. Let us help you." I jerked away, but Mark blocked the doorway. Through the window, I saw headlights approaching, the intervention team Dolly had undoubtedly already arranged. My son slept upstairs, unaware his mother was about to disappear. Just like Caroline Bennett's family. Just like all the others. Game over. Dolly had won. Or had she? The intervention team never made it through the door. Instead, they found Caroline Bennett herself standing on our porch, flanked by 2 police officers and a silver-haired man I'd never seen before. "Hello, Dolly," the man said. "Remember me? James Thompson. David's brother." Dolly's mask slipped for just a second. "Marcus, call security." "Security?" Caroline stepped forward. "Like the private security firm you hired to intimidate me? The one that's now under investigation?" Mark looked between them, confusion breaking through his certainty. "Mom?" "Don't listen to them," Dolly grabbed his arm. "They're working with Penelope, trying to destroy our family." "Like you destroyed mine?" James Thompson pulled out a folder. "We have the proof now. All of it. The forged documents, the manipulated bank records, the falsified medical reports. And the recordings," I added quietly. "The ones you thought you deleted from my phone?" Lisa uploaded everything to a secure server before she went away. Dolly's composure cracked. "You ungrateful little." "Choose your next words carefully," one officer warned. "We have questions about several suspicious property transfers in 3 states. Mark backed away from his mother, realization dawning. "The houses. The other families. It's all true?" "Of course not." But Dolly's denial sounded hollow now. "Marcus, darling, they're trying to turn you against me. Just like your father." "My father?" Mark's voice hardened. "Tell me about the letters, Mom. The ones he wrote before he died." "What letters?" I pulled them from my jacket, the originals this time, not copies. "The ones where he warned Mark about you. About your patterns. The ones you intercepted and hid." "You went through my things?" Real fear crept into her voice. "No," Mark said. "I did. Last night, while you were meeting your lawyer. Found them exactly where Penny said they'd be." Dolly lunged for the letters, but Mark pulled them away. "Don't bother. I've read them all. Every warning, every detail about what you did to our family. I protected you." She was unraveling now, her careful facade crumbling. "Your father was weak, just like you're being weak now. Everything I did was for your own good. By destroying everyone I love? By trying to commit my wife? She was ruining everything. Just like your father, just like all of them, trying to take you away from me." The officers moved forward, but Dolly wasn't finished. She turned to me, eyes wild. "You think you've won? You think this changes anything?" She laughed, the sound brittle. "He'll always choose me. They always do. Because I'm the only one who truly loves them, who understands what's best." "No, Mom." Mark's voice was quiet but firm. "Not anymore." She froze. "Marcus?" "Officers," he said, "I'd like to press charges. For fraud, for the forged documents in my name. For all of it." "You can't," she whispered. "I'm your mother." "Yes. You are. That's what makes this necessary." As the officers led her away, her mask finally shattered completely. She screamed accusations, threats, promises of revenge. But Mark didn't waver. Charlie's cry echoed from upstairs, awakened by the chaos. Mark started to go, but I caught his arm. Wait. I met his eyes. Are you sure? About all of this? He looked at the letters in his hand, then at Dolly being placed in the police car. I should have seen it sooner. Should have believed you. You saw what she wanted you to see. We all did. He touched my cheek, grief and determination warring in his expression. I have to go with them. Make a statement, start making this right. Will you still be here when I get back? Charlie cried out again, and this time I let go of Mark's arm. We'll be here. But Mark? Things can't just go back to normal. I know. He stepped back. I have to prove myself again. To both of you. I watched him walk away, then climbed the stairs to our son. Through the window, I could see Dolly in the police car, her face a mask of fury and fear. She'd lost everything she'd tried to steal, her son, her control, her carefully constructed reality. But as I held Charlie, I wondered about the cost of victory and whether any of us would ever truly recover from the wounds she'd left behind. Spring bloomed in my restored garden, the herbs Dolly had ripped out now thriving again. Charlie chased butterflies through the new growth while I pulled weeds, each one a reminder of how quickly unwanted things could take root. The doorbell rang. Lisa stood on the porch with a folder of newspaper clippings. They denied her appeal. She'll serve the full sentence. Good. I brushed dirt from my hands. The others? Caroline Bennett got her father's house back. The Thompsons recovered most of their assets. She hesitated. Mark called me again. Charlie's laughter floated across the yard as he discovered a ladybug. I focused on that sound, not the ache that still accompanied his father's name. He's in therapy, Lisa continued. Real therapy, not the kind Dolly arranged. He wants to know if you'll consider. I can't. The words came easier now. Not yet. Maybe not ever. He's changed. He had to hit rock bottom to see the truth. To choose truth. I watched Charlie playing. I won't risk Charlie going through that again. Lisa nodded, understanding. We'd had this conversation before, would probably have it again. Some wounds needed more than apologies to heal. Inside, I made coffee while Lisa spread out the clippings. Other cases, other families torn apart by Dolly's manipulations. Some had recovered. Others remained fractured, trust too damaged to rebuild. You know what's strange? I touched a photo of Dolly being led from the courthouse. I almost understand her now. The fear of losing control, of being alone. The things it drove her to do. But you're not her. No. I smiled as Charlie ran past the window. I chose to fight for love, not control. The mail arrived, bills, advertisements, and a thick envelope from Mark's lawyer. Inside was a deed transfer, returning full ownership of the house to me. And beneath it, a letter. You don't have to read it, Lisa said. But I did, scanning words of remorse, of understanding, of hope. The final lines caught me. I'm learning to recognize manipulation, to stand against it. Like you did. Like you taught me to do. Charlie deserves that strength in both his parents, whether we're together or apart. A cry from outside, Charlie had fallen. I rushed out, but he was already picking himself up, brushing off his knees. Okay, Mommy, he declared. I strong. Yes, you are, baby. I hugged him close, breathing in his sweet, solid presence. We both are. Later, after Lisa left and Charlie was asleep, I sat in my garden. The motion sensor light flickered on, illuminating the space where Dolly had once held court, plotting to steal everything I loved. Now only peaceful shadows remained. My phone buzzed, a text from Caroline Bennett, support group meeting tomorrow. Other survivors want to meet you. I thought about Dolly in her prison cell, probably already finding new ways to manipulate those around her. About Mark, finally facing his own wounds and weaknesses. About Charlie, growing up knowing the difference between love and control. The garden needed more work. Some plants were still struggling, others showing surprising resilience. Like family. Like healing. Like truth. I texted back, I'll be there. Then I pulled one last weed, its roots deep but not unbreakable. Above me, stars pierced the darkness, countless points of light, each one a reminder that even the darkest nights eventually yield to dawn. Charlie's nightlight glowed in his window, a beacon calling me back inside. To him. To our home. To the life we were rebuilding, stronger now for having been tested. Not all victories look like we expect. Sometimes they're found in small moments, a child's laughter, a garden's renewal, the quiet strength of choosing your own path. Sometimes the greatest revenge isn't in destroying your enemy, but in refusing to become them. I stood, brushing earth from my knees, and went to check on my son. Tomorrow would bring its own challenges, its own choices. But tonight, in this moment, we were safe. We were free. And that was enough.